Harry Weber. I have not seen your work. Even more than Pete Wilson, I desperately hope that it is improved on the reality. This whole event and the plaque is, of course, the production of the inimitable Joe White. And my idea is if we really want Harry to work on a sculpture, you know, the spirit of St. Louis on his horse. Well, I have this idea of a kind of monumental Joe White. So, just a thought, and to be included on this plaque in this totally non-biodegradable fashion forever with Tom Eagleton and Pete Wilson is really a tremendous honor, because I have such high respect for both of them. Pete Wilson, think of his career. He was mayor of San Diego. He served in the United States Senate. He was elected governor of California. Imagine that. Imagine wanting to be governor of California. After 5th grade, which we then called Class 8, my parents took my brother Don and me to Washington, D.C. We had never been there before. I have this vivid memory of sitting in the Senate gallery, looking down on the floor of the Senate and saying to myself, I want to do that sometime. I can also remember the words of my dad as we were filing out of the Senate gallery. His words were, "What a bunch of windbags." He didn't have any idea, of course. I hadn't had the opportunity to share with him my new ambition that I would someday be a senator. And I can say that once he learned that, he never said anything derogatory about politicians. In fact, he always was very supportive and encouraging that this is something that I wanted to be. When I came back beginning the next year to Country Day, I became very active in political matters and anything that pertained to politics. And the school was so supportive in all of that in various ways. In the way that individual faculty members related to me and encouraged me and argued with me. And there were all of these various opportunities that the school provided to do things that were political, things that were available to a number of schools like Model UN General Assembly, where, by the way, I was the campaign manager for Alex Nechvaladov, which turned out to be a switch, and mock political conventions, and debates in the chapel. I can remember in the old Brown Road campus, in the chapel, debating whether or not Alaska and Hawaii should be admitted as states, and whether there should be universal military training, you know, and I mean, it was terrific. And the idea that the entire student body would be there listening to this debate, it was just terrific. And all of these opportunities to do things political, we had for a time a sort of a mock Senate at the old campus. And it was not just the encouragement of the school, but it was also the encouragement, as I mentioned, I guess in 1983, I forgot that I talked about it, but of my classmates. It is true that in the yearbook it calls me senator, but it was so much fun to be part of that class because all of these guys in the class, you know, they were either sort of part of my enthusiasm or encouraging of my enthusiasm. I am just absolutely delighted to see my friend John Rava here tonight. John Rava and I spent boy years, arguing politics with each other. And I haven't seen him for some time, but I picked it up tonight. When I saw him down here, I said, "Have you caught on to Obama yet?" I think that the mark of a good school is not just what you learn in the classroom or what teachers teach you or what you read in books. I think the mark of a really good school is to find the interests and maybe the talents of each individual student and to raise those interests up and to applaud them and to be cheerleaders for them. I think that that is the great gift school can give a student. I really believe that my political life was related to not only that occasion in the balcony of the U.S. Senate, but to the fact that for years to come, this school in various ways encouraged me. And I think that that is the job of any school for anybody. I want to just close by saying one thing about Tom Eagleton. We had this terrific relationship, and you read in the papers now about just how just relentlessly nasty politics has become. Well, we were in different parties, and we had very different political ideas, and we voted differently, but we had this absolutely marvelous personal relationship. And I think that it's the way politics should be. And I lament the fact that it is not that way today. I remember that when I was elected to the Senate, my dad had died about 2 years earlier, and we had a family dinner in a very small room in a hotel in Washington. Nobody there but our family, and Barbara and Tom were there. And during a sort of lull in the dinner, Tom said, "I know that you wish that your dad were here." Now, can you imagine in the rough and tumble world of politics today, somebody saying that to you? That's what he said to me. And so my thought right now is I wish Tom Eagleton were here tonight. Thank you.